now we're at the time where the Hamashiach is getting ready to come.
And hidden riches of secret places, that thou mayest know that I am the Lord.
Last words, brother.
Shalom, ma.
All right.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. All right, Israel. Shabbat shalom, new moon.
That's right. Shabbat shalom. Right, let's get
it. Israel, we got an exciting lesson. We got a lot of new things happening. We got most obvious. We got the new month.
We got the new month. We got the new year, right?
New year.
We got the new moon.
Obviously, the new moon.
Man, and we got a new lesson.
And guess what? We got a new season. What is that?
That's right.
Spring.
Springtime, baby. First day of spring is today. The last day of winter.
And I'm gonna tell you something. This calendar, I mean, man, this year is gonna go by fast. I already feel it. Like it's just, this thing is gonna zoom by. God. So let's, Israel, let's praise the Most High with all our heart, mind, and strength. Let us, like I'm telling you, let us just go beast mode in keeping these commandments. Because look, me and Brother Ak, we have worked hard and dedication, to the Most High, and putting out this calendar, making sure that it's read proof and that the precepts are there so that you can go and study, not just doing some half-done calendar where you got to try to figure out the days. No, we got the precepts there for you to study on your own.
Bring it out,
so you can see where we get everything. Now, we want to be as transparent as possible, Israel, and that's the way we should be. That's the word. That's the way the word tells us to be.
All
right. And brother Eitan, man, you know how we do, man. Anytime, man, you need to jump in, just jump in, man.
Okay. Also a reminder, as y'all see on the calendar, the 14th is coming up. That'll be next week. Saturday sundown, we will begin the Passover as well as the Feast of the Unleavened Bread, which will last us 1 week long. So I want everybody get prepared. Make sure nobody's working on the week, working on that day on Saturday at all. And you always get the leaven at your house, and let's start getting ready for this first gigantic, big holy day that we have coming up.
And that's right, Israel. And that's what I started doing. I started removing. I kind of started like a month ago. I started removing most of the leaven, which I didn't have much and everything. So starting tonight, and rest of the days leading up to the Passover, start removing that stuff out of your fridge. And if you want to know what leaven you're talking about, anything that makes your food rise, Israel, that's leaven. Yeast, noodles, stuff like that. So, just start getting rid of that and everything, and let us, be serious about these commandments. Because look, we have them right before us, and man, it's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. All right, so y'all know the name of the lesson, new moon lesson, the beginning of the law of Yashar'El. And so Israel, prior to our forefathers coming out of Egypt, no one was keeping the law, for exception with Abraham. And I'm going to show you a couple of scripts to back that up and everything, because he was special. But however, he wasn't called Israel first. It wasn't until Israel came about when the commandments really began to be known unto our people. So let me go ahead and pull up the scriptures here. In the meantime, go ahead and start getting your the word ready. All right, Israel, go ahead and turn to Genesis. Genesis chapter 26. And let's look at verse 5. And it says, because that Abraham obeyed my voice and did guard my watch, my commandments, my statutes, and my Torah. All right. So that lets you know that once upon a time our people were keeping the commandments, even prior to Abraham in the beginning. That's how they kept the feast. That's how they kept they read the constellations and everything. And constellations never change. Everything is always fixed. All right, brother, you got anything before I go to Jubilees 14:20?
No, you go. I'm riding off you. Go ahead. I got I got a couple of things, but I'm gonna wait for a little while before I bring it out.
Okay. All right. So let's go to Jubilees 14:20. All right. All right. So it says, on that day we cut a covenant with Abraham, according as we had covenant with Noah in this month. And Abraham renewed the feast and ordinance for himself for what? Forever. That means it would be carried out through his seed. Through his seed Isaac, all right, Jacob, and 12 tribes of Israel. This is powerful, Israel. Because you got to remember where we came from. We came from the chosen seed. Yeah, Abraham was the father of many nations, but there's only one chosen seed. All right. And it says, Abraham rejoiced and made all these things known to Sarah, his woman, and he believed that he would have seed, but she did not bear. And we all know the whole story behind that. And the reason why I'm showing you this, Israel, is to show you that the Most High's laws are forever. You know, it's not something that it was just invented. All right, his laws are ancient as himself.
That's right.
All right, go way back. Even the Shabbat. You know, it says that they were keeping the Shabbat and Jubilees before before man was even created.
All
right, and this is why the heathens worked so hard to try to get our people. They distract us with all the hip hop world and everything. They distract us with all the feminist stuff and everything that they can think of to try to get us off track. All right, but just remember one thing, Israel. You know, these laws are never going to die out. They're never going to change, and the Most High never changes. And just because we're living in the land of our captivity doesn't mean that the Most High is going to accept our wickedness. And that's the problem with a lot of our people. They think because we're living in a new time and it wasn't this way back then. No, the Most High never. He changes not. Doesn't change at all. All right. And so before we go to, we're gonna get into the Passover, to the Exodus 12, and we're gonna get into the first law, the very first law that Israel was commanded to keep. All right. And then before we close out, we're going to go back to the calendar and just kind of go through and explain some things to you. Brother, you got anything before we go to Exodus 12?
No, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait for a second. I'm gonna see the direction that you take it. I got an idea about what you're gonna do. So
okay,
I got a couple of scriptures, but I'm gonna wait and see where we where I need to bring them out at. Go ahead, let's rock and roll.
All right, so let's go ahead and turn your Bibles to Exodus, book of Exodus chapter 12. All right. So again, brother, whenever you need to come, if you feel like the Holy Spirit is moving and you get some other scriptures, bring it up, man, because we may be in Exodus 12 for a minute. All right, Israel. Let's start off with verse 2, all right? Because we're in the first month, right? So it says, "This month shall be unto you the beginning of months." All right, the beginning of months, meaning the first month. "It shall be the first month of the year to you," all right, which is the year of Abib. And so you already know how we planned out the calendar. You know the precepts and how we got the days and everything. And it's always the same time every year. It's going to begin the new year. All right. It says, "Speak ye unto the assembly of Yashar'El, saying..."
Hold on, we can't see it on the screen. Bring it up on the screen. Yeah, there we go. You on there?
Can you see it now?
Yeah, we can see it now. It's on there.
What happened? Right. Let's say verse 3. It says, "Speak ye unto all the assemblies of Yashar'El, saying, in the 10th day of this month, that ye shall take to them every man a lamb according to the house of their fathers, a lamb for a house." All right. Now, if we were, especially back in those days, because I know we're living in the land of our captivity, this is probably, and I'm just keeping it real, this is probably the only one that you're gonna have a hard time with, especially if you don't have any lambs, like you're raising any lambs or property, something like that, to raise them on. Because the scripture says that we would have to eat the defiled bread of our enemies during our captivity. All right, but that does not excuse the fact that we're excused from eating lamb. We still have to eat the lamb for the Passover. All right, verse 4. Can y'all still see that? Can you still see that out?
Con. I'm right with you.
It says, and if the household be too little for the lamb, let him and his daughter, his neighbor next unto him, his house, take it according to the number of the souls. Every man according to his eating shall make your account for the lamb. All right. What are they preparing for? All right. It's going down. It says, your lamb shall be without blemish. What does that mean to be without blemish? And I know you all know that. It means no defects, no birth defects or anything like that. And that's the way the Most High was. He always used the best of the best, everything. I don't care if it was cloven footed or whatever, you couldn't use it. If it had any kind of deformity, you couldn't use it. All right. Your lamb shall be without blemish, a male of the first year. Ye shall take it out from the sheep or from the goats, and ye shall keep it unto the 14th day of the same month. Just talking about the first month of the year. And the whole multitude of the assembly of Yashar'El shall kill it in the even. All right, I'm gonna stop right there, right quick. I'm gonna go back up the count. I wish I could share both these screens at the same time, but I can only share one screen at a time. All right, I'm gonna bring up the calendar. All right, can y'all see that calendar?
Con, we got it up.
I'm just gonna blow it up a little bit. All right, Israel. So looking at the calendar right here, so we know that the Passover begins on the Gregorian April 1st, which is the 14th day, the first month at even. What does it mean at even? That means at sunset. So Shabbat at sunset, when the sun is set, completely set, that's when Passover begins. All right. But on the 10th day of the month, that's when, we would get the lamb. So if you get your lamb, symbolizing, make sure you get your lamb by the 10th, on the 10th day of the month. You just have it ready. All right.
Con.
And then we go into this. So I just wanted to just give you a visual and everything. You got anything?
Yeah, just want to bring out something, right? I want y'all to notice also how when he's reading here in Exodus 10, right, that we see that this is all new for Israel. All of this, right? The the way that you are supposed to hold the Passover, what to do, for the Passover, this is new, right? This is new for Israel. All of this stuff is brand new for Israel. So you got to realize that, even in the beginning, it's not like, our people was already aware of the laws, statutes, and commandments, right? We weren't, we weren't really aware of that. So all this stuff, it came new to us. So it's kind of like a shock, even from, as you see in the beginning of the verse, when the Most High is telling us that this is going to be our first month and this is going to be our first day, right? So he's setting us straight as a people, when the whole time, right, we've been, held captive for 400-something years, under the Egyptians, right? So you got to realize, when we read the part, so after this, we read the part, and you see Moses, he going up on the mountain for 40 days or whatever, and he comes back, and they're, they got a golden calf, and they're doing all types of wickedness, even though they saw this. You got to realize that, the Most High, he wasn't there in our lives like that, right? He just wasn't there in our lives like that. Well, I had a verse, but so that I wanted to go over as well. But okay, let's say, for example, right? Hey, Augment, let me just pull up on Exodus 3:6, right? Just to show.
Yeah, go ahead, pull up, and I was gonna actually do that too, so that way we don't have to keep switching back from the calendar to the.
All right, Con.
Pictures up, and you can let it get. There you go.
Exodus.
Right. Israel, y'all gonna have to go. I think my internet has been slow because I'm plugged into the wire, but I don't know. I think in this area the internet has been slow. So just bear with us if my internet goes down or whatever. I'll try to get back on.
Okay, Con. All right, Israel. Okay, and verse 6, Exodus. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 3, and verse 6. It says, moreover, he said, I am the God of thy father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. and the God of Jacob, right? And we know that Moses was an Israelite, so he is from the so he is from Jacob. He is also the God of Shem as well, right? So we know that God is also the God of Shem. We see in Genesis 9:26, and I'll just go there real quick just so y'all right. And see, it says, and he said, "Blessed be the Lord God of Shem," right? So Shem, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? Shem, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, right? So we know that those are the Most High's, who the Most High has been the God of all these years, right? So in seeing that, we see some semblance of laws, right, for these particular people. Let's say, like from the beginning, right? If you see Adam and you see Cain, right? Salakia, right? You see Adam and you see Cain and Abel, right? When Cain and Abel, when they got into their little spat and Cain slew Abel, what commandment was that they were following, right? That was a holy day, and that holy day was the first fruits, right? You know what I'm saying? The feast, the feast of the first fruits, right? When they gifts them, right? So, we see that we had a minor law that was understood if you were directly under the Most High, right? How the Most High came and visited, has sent, someone to visit Abraham, and Abraham, he threw away the false gods that he was having, because Abraham wasn't always worshiping the Most High, right? He got rid of the false gods that he was happening, and then the Most High had showed him the right way, right? It's the same thing with Israel. It's not like we always knew the laws, statutes, and commandments, right? From the beginning. Sure, Jacob had some semblance of it from Isaac, right? And Isaac some semblance from it from Abraham, right? This and so forth and so on, right? But for them to know the 613 laws, right? We just didn't know that as a people.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, brother, pull up Deuteronomy. You got that Deuteronomy 4:27 right quick. You got to understand too, especially now we're talking about when our folks were in Egypt, they did not know, because they were so integrated with the Egyptian customs and everything. And it's the same thing today. So like, look at let's look at Deuteronomy 4:27. It says, "And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, which we are scattered now, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you." Now get this, because this is what our people are starting to come out of little by little. It says, "And there ye shall serve" what? "Gods, the works of men's hand, wood and stone, which neither see nor hear nor eat nor smell." So that means that our people are scattered to the four corners of the earth, but they're worshiping the heathen's God still. And Brother Eitan brought up a good point. Like this is foreign. Even the scripture says that the law was a strange and foreign thing to us. All right, and it takes a while to get it, and that's why Israel had to wander for 40 years in the wilderness, because it wasn't something that they can just get overnight. They had to learn these things. It was procedures to the laws, and these laws were meant to protect our people. All right. Now, when you talk about the 613 laws, not all laws applied to some. You had laws that applied only to women. You had laws that only applied to priests. But the laws that applied to us, those are the ones we had to keep.
Right. And
so,
also,
and again, those laws were for our protection. Like, for example, you had laws where, and I can see why our forefathers had different wives, many wives sometimes, because if a woman was going through her menstruation, she was considered unclean. And correct me if I'm wrong, I think it was like 7 days. She couldn't like go into the kitchen, go nowhere. And that means the other wife, who was not going through her menstruation, can carry on the duties. So I see how it was very convenient for forefathers to have several wives, so that way that one can carry on if the other one was unclean.
And you know what, too, right? So another thing, right? As far as like the beginning of the law of Israel, right? Y'all got to realize that we also have to equate that time of when we came out of Egypt for another time here, just like it says in Deuteronomy, right? Right, 28 and 68, where it talks about, you'll come out of Egypt again. Now, the first time you came out of Egypt, you didn't know the Lord, right? Yes, we didn't know the Lord, right? All the laws, statutes, and commandments, they seem foreign to us, strange, weird, right? It's the same thing that we got today. I mean, it was so strange and weird that it took us 40 years, right? And 40 years to the point that the Most High, he killed everybody. He killed all the first generation that came out of Israel.
That's
The
right.
ones that saw all the miracles and all that stuff in the 10 plagues, the Most High killed all them niggas. All of them died. All of them got killed, right? They didn't make it to the promised land. Right? I don't think it was the second. I don't even think it was till the second generation that was born out wandering. The Most High damn near had to start over because they were so tainted from coming out of Egypt. Right? Them niggas was so wicked from coming out of Egypt, they couldn't get right that the Most High had to kill them. Had to kill damn near most of them, right? Before they could even see the, could even see, right, the promised land. That included Moses as well, right? Moses didn't even get a chance to make it, right? You know what I'm saying? So, our people, it was hard for us. It was hard for us in the beginning to start keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments. And we must remember that. Especially when we go out here and we are sharing, sharing these things to our people. We got to take a little bit of delicacy when we're dealing with our people, when dealing with this stuff, because just like we came out of Egypt the first time, coming out of Egypt the second time, it's still going to be hard for us to get our minds around this, right?
And it's going to be like that again, Israel, like you said earlier. When if we're alive when that happens, which I think is way in the future. When the Most High does come and gathers us and takes us into the wilderness again, guess what? A lot of people are not going to know, and there's going to be some harsh punishments because you're going to have many rebels, and that has to be brought out. Yeah, some of y'all might think that the stoning was crucial and was harsh and everything, but it was necessary because the Most High had to take our people from captivity and make them kings, put them above the other nations. You can't do that in a slave mentality mindset. If you're going to rule over 10 cities, you can't have that slave mentality mindset and then call yourself trying to rule over 10 cities. So when you really think about it and see the big picture, we had to be stoned. We had to be punished if we didn't obey the Most High.
It's like pruning, right? It's the same thing like the Most High pruned, right? He pruned us the first time to go into the promised land. Right, in order to come into the promised land, the Most High, he had to prune the Israelites, right? Wandered around for 40 years. He killed off the wicked ones and the ones that weren't going to keep the commandments once they got into the land, right? And then so, it's the same thing now again, right? We're out here in the world, right? The Most High, he's going to send his son back, HaMashiach, to deliver his people. But the ones that are going to get delivered, there's going to be more pruning, right? There's a lot of pruning that's going to happen. So, just like back then, it was the beginning of the law. It was the beginning of the law for Israel. The law has always been there, right? HaMashiach has always kept the law. The angels have always kept the law. All of these things have always been in place. It's just new for us, right? The laws are just new for us.
Right. No, yeah. Let's go back to.
Matter of fact. Okay.
So unless you got something else.
Matter of fact, let me go to Genesis 4:3.
Right.
Because just to show you that the law was always here, right? Just the law was always here, right? Let me see. All right, boom, right? Genesis chapter 4, verse 1, it says, and Adam knew his wife, and Adam knew Eve, his wife, right? And she conceived and bare Cain and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord, right? And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Right, so one he dealt with cattle, right? Abel, right? He dealt with the cattle, and Abe was and Cain, he was a farmer, right? It says, and in process of time, it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord, and Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof, and the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering, but unto Cain and his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Now I want to get another scripture real quick, right? Just to clarify why, why the Most High wasn't really dealing with him, right? Let me see. Let me go trash real quick. Now this, and this is also why it's important to read these books. These books that they say that aren't canon, but they do go along with the scriptures perfectly. You just got to study a lot so you understand it. It'll be there. It says, this is Yashar'El chapter 1, verse 15. And it was at the expiration of a few years that they brought an approximating offering to the Lord, right? The first fruits, right? And Cain brought from the fruit of the ground, and Abel brought from the firstlings of his flock, the firstlings, right? So that means like the very first, the firstborn, right? They don't have no blemishes. The best of the best that you bring that unto the Lord, right? Offering the first fruits. As we see that the law was always there, but right, the law is new for Israel, even though it's always there, right? So I don't want people to think that the Most High all of a sudden came up with something, you know what I'm saying, for the Israelites to follow. No, the law was always there, right? Just the Most High, he took pity on our people and thought that, you know, we could keep the law, right? He said, you know what, these folks, man, it's a possibility that they could keep the law. If not, I am going to be able to prune these, prune this vine to the point that I will get some fruit that'll be able to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments and stay with me for an eternity. Right. And it says, and Abel brought from the firstlings of his flock, and Abel brought from the firstlings of his flock, from the fat thereof. And God turned and inclined to Abel and his offering, and a fire came down from the Lord from heaven and consumed it. So that was a good offering. And unto Cain and his offering, the Lord did not turn, and he did not incline to it, for he had brought from the inferior fruit of the ground before the Lord. Right. And Cain was jealous against his brother Abel on this account. So Cain was a greedy old nigga, right? Selfish, right? So instead of looking out, I'm gonna give the Lord the best cabbages, you know what I'm saying, the best fruit, the best because the Lord gave this to me and he didn't have to. He's feeding me, keeping me up, but instead I'm gonna get the fruit that didn't grow up too good, the ones that are stumpy, stuff like that. I'm gonna get out to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Cain just old stupid nigga, man. Thought he could do that over the person that made him. Right, as we see that the laws are always, they were always here, right, man. You think that that brothers were going right, getting their, their tithes, their first fruits, and their firstlings up to the Lord? You think they were bringing trash? Absolutely not. They're not. So they weren't doing that. They were bringing the best of the best. All right, but this is just this right here is just an example to show you that the laws always existed.
Always existed.
They've always existed, even though they're new for Israel.
Yeah, let me throw a precept to that. Can you go to Hosea for me? Hosea chapter 8 and verse 12. I'm gonna bring something out right quick. Hosea 8 and verse 12. All right, it says, I have written to him a great things of my law. We know his laws always existed, but they were counted as a strange thing. And again, Israel, anytime our people come out of captivity, especially with Egypt, they didn't know. It was totally foreign to them. And that's why I'm showing you in Exodus where the Passover was the very first law that they kept. All right, brother, if you can go back to Exodus. I'm not going to stay in Exodus long because I don't want to get into it, because we'll do the Passover lesson during the Passover. And I'm just going to read a few more verses in Exodus chapter 12. And see, go.
How far do you want me to go down?
I think we left off at 6, I think.
Oh, Exodus 12 though, right? My bad, I'm in 10.
Exodus 12, yeah. All right. All right, no, go back. Go back. I don't want to go down that far because I want to say that for the Passover. All right. So no, verse 6. All right, so talking about the lamb, and ye shall keep it unto the 14th day of the same month, and the whole assembly, the congregation of Israel, shall kill it in that evening. I'm gonna stop right there because I got some other scriptures I'm gonna show you. But I wanted to show you this to let you know. So when we get into the Passover, we're gonna show you what that lamb represents, and we're gonna show you why they have to do it in a certain manner and everything. We're gonna get into the blood post as well, why they have to put the blood and everything and what it represents. What you got to do with the lamb, so that when you do your Passover and everything, you'll know what to do and everything. And as far as grilling the lamb as well too. So we're definitely gonna be bringing that out in Passover. Do you have anything that you want to bring out?
No, but just for your information, right? Israel, Passover, that means the angel of death passed us over. Okay, that's why it's called the Passover, because we were passed over.
That's right. And Israel, that was the most beautiful thing, because being the first law, and being the beginning of the law for Israel, that was like the moment marker where Hamashiach was getting ready to deliver his people, by using Moses going to Pharaoh and everything.
Mm.
And this is why when we look at these feast days, it's very, very important. Everything from Passover all the way to the very last feast, which is Purim. All of them has to do with deliverance. All right. And this is why we have to always remember and practice these righteous acts with our people. And we know the law was only given to Israel. So if any heathens talking about, oh man, the law was given, they can keep, no, they can't. They cannot. Even when we had them in captivity, they had to be circumcised. They had to be bought.
That's right.
They had to be purchased with money. All right.
That's right.
I'm gonna bring up the scriptures here. I'm gonna go to Psalms. So go ahead and turn your scriptures, Israel, to Psalms 147.
Psalm 147.
Psalm 147. I'll bring it. Yeah, I was gonna bring it up on there.
Okay. Oh, you can bring it up. That's what's up.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Psalms 147. And then we're gonna kind of just get on the calendar. Psalms 147. All right, Israel. So let's look at this. It says, he shows his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Yashar'El. He has not dealt so with any nation, and as far as his judgments, they have not known them. All right. And that's the beautiful thing, because the laws are only given to Israel. Nowhere in the scriptures, Israel, you're going to find, and I challenge anyone to show us anywhere in the scriptures where the covenant was given to the heathen nations. You're not going to find it. All right. The law was only given to Israel. Brand new thing.
Yeah, that's right. Brand new thing. So like the beginning of the law, for Israel, Yashar'El, it's a strange thing, right? Just like it is today, right? It's still a strange thing to our people. But we know, because we are the children of the Most High, and because the Spirit will bear witness, is that we know that we are, so we know that this is for us, right, man? You read these commandments and you see that, guess what? There's nothing wrong with this, right? There's nothing in this thing that'll have you full of regret, right? There could be nothing in here that'll cause you trauma. No, nothing. It's nothing but spiritual wisdom. You keep these commandments and you're guaranteed to move through this life with ease, besides the test that the Most High decides to put upon you, right? And that's to make sure that you're sharp as a sword, right? That you have your laws, statutes, and commandments living in the front of your forehead, right? So you're able to, fight the wiles of the devil at any given moment.
In Israel, let's look at the calendar. All right. So the beginning of the law, starting with Passover. And I'm just going to scroll through and everything. And I know when the last Shabbat and Passover, we count 50 days. And technically, we're supposed to count the days. So if you mark your calendars and just mark off each day that goes by the time you get to 50, we'll be at Pentecost.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. Pentecost. So I got to get some palms and everything. So, carry those 50 days. But
let's get it. Yeah.
Yep. And that's the way it should be done. So, we have Pentecost, and then next one, of course, is going to be in the last day of the 6th month, which is going to be the Feast of Trumpets.
And then we got my favorite month.
That's right. And this is the month that we have in most of our feasts, that we have the Day of Atonement. Then we have the Feast of Sukkot. All right, Feast of Tabernacles. We spend 8 days in our tents or booths or cabin. Yep.
Yeah, we we gotta do a little something this year, man. Get us a little venue. See if we can,
Yep.
you know what I'm saying, get us some
Oh yeah, we talked about
Miami.
that. We're gonna try
Yeah,
to.
come.
I'm coming out your way, man.
All right, come, man. We gotta get us a little venue out here, man.
Yeah.
Got the Hebrews out here.
Yeah. All right. And the next one, we got the Feast of Dedication. We know what that's about. When Judah Maccabees, they had to run those Greek booty boys out the temple.
That's right.
Crazy wicked stuff. All right.
That's right.
And then, of course, the very last one is Purim.
That's right.
So Israel, all of these are for us. You know, these whole, you know, and when our forefathers came out of Egypt, and it's sad that they had to like just go astray like that, because we had a good thing and we still got a good thing if we keep these laws, because keeping these laws, Israel, is our protection. It is our salvation. All right. And the word says that it was counted to us as righteousness because we kept the laws. Matter of fact, that just came up. I think it's Isaiah 40. No, let me see. What was that?
What are you thinking about?
It's the verse where it talks about it was he kept the law and the law was counted as righteousness. Out of my mind now. I hadn't planned on sharing that one, but it just came up. Let me see if I can find it right quick. If you got something you want to hear what? I'm gonna bring this up right quick.
Okay. All right, Con. Oh, you know, it's just try Psalms 119, 142.
No, it's in Isaiah.
Oh, it's in Isaiah?
Yeah.
I don't know. The only thing I know, you know what I'm saying, I don't know. Try 42 or 51.
Okay, no, you're right. It's I don't know why I was thinking Isaiah. Psalms 106:31.
Come on.
Psalm 106:31.
Yeah. But man, I'm happy we got the laws, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the main thing that sets us apart. Even if it is, you know, even though it's not grievous, right? You know what I'm saying? Grievous means that grievous doesn't mean that it's hard to keep, right? Grievous means to the point that it will hurt you in some type of way, right? It'll cause you grief or something like that, right? The laws don't cause you grief or anything like that, right? They're all good for you, right? But that doesn't mean that you don't have to fight against the flesh to keep them, right? Because you do have to fight against the flesh, because the flesh wants to do nothing but wickedness all the time. Whatever is the easiest, that's what the flesh wants to do, right? Let's say, for example, just like, let's say if you exercise, you go out, you get up and you go to the gym, right? You know what I'm saying? The flesh is going to want you to do what? Do nothing. Sit at home, eat ice cream and cookies, and you know, melt your brain away by watching the damn TV, right? That's what your flesh is going to want to do, right? But your spirit, right? Your spirit is going to want you to do what, right? Keep your temple, right? Keep your temple healthy, because it says in the scriptures that health is better than gold. Right. The spirit is going to want you to read the laws, statutes, and commandments, and to study, right, your history in these scriptures. That's what the spirit is going to want you to do. The spirit is going to convince you to do work, right? The spirit is going to move you to come on and, you know, man, hey, you know, you don't got to get you a YouTube channel, man. You can go anywhere and get this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like print up your flyers. Oh yeah. Speaking of which, we need to put the flyers out for Israel. Oh, did we already do that? I think we already did that, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, con. Slakia,
right? And then I post them on my community on the community page as well. No Truth flyer.
Right, Israel. You know, you get you a truth flyer, right? Get you some precepts that you like. You know what I'm saying? Write those down. Hey, share it to the people, right? You know, man, you might have brothers and sisters at your workplace. You know, not something too, you know, too separatists, you know, like so you can get in trouble at work or nothing like that. But some, you know what I'm saying, but something nice and easy just to ease them into it, right? Because like I said, right, just like us coming out of Egypt, right? Hey man, it took 40 years and the Most High killed damn near everybody before we even made it into the land in the first place, because of the laws were weird. I mean, the laws are strange to us. They're new, right? It's a little bit they're not grievous, right? They're not grievous, but they are they're not the easiest thing to follow. And guess what? Being keeping the laws is what makes you God-like. And being
Right.
being a God should not be easy. It's not going to be easy. Being God, a little g, right? Because it says we are gods, right? It's not going to be easy, right? So it's going to be everything that's going to be spiritual, right? And there's going to be nothing that is fleshly, because fleshly is easy. So if you're able to master your spirit and able to overcome the flesh, right? That's what that's a godly person. That's a holy person.
There's only two things that's really important to me that's above anything else, and that's the Most High Yahweh, His Son, and keep the laws, commandments, and statutes. The verse I was looking for was Genesis 15:6. I don't know. I was thinking. It says, and he believed in Yahweh. So to believe in Yahweh, what you got to keep the laws.
That's right.
And he counted it to him for righteousness. All right. Now let's go to Ecclesiasticus chapter 19. I'll show you. Ecclesiasticus chapter 19.
Oh, Book of Sirach. Right. You see, I said Sirach right there.
All right. And let's look at verse 19. So Ecclesiasticus, or the Book of Sirach, chapter 19, and verse 19 says, the knowledge of the commandments of Yahweh is the what? Doctrine of life.
That's right.
All right. Brother Eitan just brought out earlier, if we're keeping his commandments, it's like a life of ease, because you're gonna, and what I mean by a life of ease is that you're not gonna have to suffer dependency. Your chances of getting into going to the lake of fire, is going to be more slimmer and slimmer, because if you're keeping these laws, you're upholding these laws, you have a chance of salvation, eternal salvation.
God.
And it says, and they that do things that please him shall receive the fruit of the tree of immortality.
God.
That's powerful, y'all. So, the laws is to keep these laws of salvation. And see that what the heathens have done is that they have tricked our people. And they got our people up in these pastor pork chops up in these churches saying that, oh, you don't have to keep the law no more. You can't keep the law. You can't keep the law. All right. You tell me, outside of the sacrificial laws, you tell me which law cannot be kept. Anytime I come across some Baptist,
did you say sacrificial laws?
What's that?
What'd you say about sacrificial laws?
I said outside of the sacrificial laws, which Hamashiach fulfilled, what laws do you not keep?
That's right. And all the sacrificial laws you can keep, because Hamashiach died for him. So there's really no law that you can't keep.
Yeah.
Anything that you can't keep is just...
The only difference is we don't slaughter animals and bring them to the altar.
We don't need to, right? Because Hamashiach, he gave his blood. That's right. No other animals have to die. And plus, animals' blood, it's not going to be able to cover your sins anyway, right?
Every time I hear somebody say, oh, we can't keep the law, I challenge them. I says, what law can we not keep? You name me one law that we cannot keep.
If anything, you just got an unclean spirit. I mean, like, for you not to keep, you're able to keep all laws. Yes. Period. That's just, you're able to do it, right? Sometimes you might mess up. True, you might mess up. So you might have to repent, right, about something. But for the most part, right, if you really, it's discipline, right? It's just discipline. Like, man, you go every day without burning your hand on the stove, because you know what to do, what not to do. You know what not to do to burn your hand on the stove, or you know what not to do. Every day you sit on the toilet and take a dump, you know how to wipe your ass, right? Yeah. You don't get up off the toilet and you don't wipe your ass. It's the same situation where you're keeping the law, statutes, and the commandments. Every day, I know I'm not going to lie.
In other words, the law should be like second nature.
It should be second nature.
Automatic.
Right? It's how you living. That's why the scriptures, when it talks about you being baptized, right? You being baptized in the Spirit, that means that you don't, that old stuff that you were doing, right? You got to have discipline to, let's say, if you like to lie, or you even tell even small lies, or whatever. Let's just say, but the scripture definitely says a liar ain't getting in, right? So that's something that every single one of us, right, you got to master. No matter how small the lie is, you got to master not telling a lie, keeping it 100 all the time, right? Hey, just start right there. If you can keep it 100 all the time, now no matter, as you talk every day, right, you can just keep it 100. Don't tell no lies. Hey man, hey, believe it or not, man, it's hard for people to do that. Man, people have built up a damn a persona. People have built up this, that, and the third, and they find themselves, lying daily, and they don't even understand that they're doing it. Yeah. Right. So it behooves every single one of you. Just something as simple as that will give you the discipline, right, to follow the rest of the laws, statutes, and commandments.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Israel. Anybody who say that they got the spirit and not keeping the laws, they're lying. They don't have the spirit. Yep. John 6:63, it says, "It is the ruach, or the spirit, that quickens. The flesh profits nothing. The words that I speak unto you, they are ruach, and they are life." What did we just read in Ecclesiastes? The commandments of the Torah is the doctrine, the commandments of life. So, Israel, you cannot be led by the Spirit and not be keeping these laws. When you talk about some of our people, they talk about they got the Spirit and everything like that. They got a spirit, but it ain't the Spirit of the Most High.
It's an unclean spirit.
Yeah, yes, that's right. It's a wicked spirit. So they don't have the Spirit. That's a testament. That is a testament against you. Anybody who say that, I got the Spirit. You ain't keeping no laws. You ain't wearing your fringes. You ain't keeping the basic of the laws. No, you ain't. You don't got the Spirit. It's impossible. It's impossible for you to have the Spirit if you're not keeping the laws. It's impossible. No doubt about it. Can't keep the laws if you don't have the Spirit. You're not keeping the laws.
Yeah, like
this is why
40 years.
And this is why a lot of brothers don't have discernment, because this is why you got so many doctrines floating around. Because people claiming that they got the Spirit and they're getting revelations and everything, but they're not keeping no laws.
Yeah, come on. And we know you ain't get no revelations. The scripture always says that, if you dream, and dreaming for fools. Right. So the Most High, he ain't dealing with nobody like that no more. Right, that stuff is over with. Right. Deuteronomy 28:68. Hold up real quick. Right, Deuteronomy 28:68, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again," right, which means that it's going to be strange for us to know the laws, right? We don't know the laws now, so we got to come back to the laws. Right. Like a lot of our people, right? Especially if you're out here teaching, like when you wake them up, they're gonna, it's all new to them. It's all new to them. Of course, the basic ones, right? Because everybody knows the basic. Hey, you shouldn't, you shouldn't kill nobody. You shouldn't kill your brother. You shouldn't, steal from your brother. You shouldn't, covet your brother. Stuff that of that nature. Like a lot of this stuff is common sense, right? It's just the nuance commandments, the ones that need to be studied, right? But a lot of this stuff is common sense, right? If you're just a decent human being, right? A decent an Israelite, you should be automatically even keeping most of these laws, anyways. You know what I mean?
In Israel, like, when you look at this calendar, me and Brother Eitan, this calendar is going to continue. As long as we got breath in us, and this calendar is going to continue to push. And I can see the next 10 years, we still got this calendar and everything. This is already the fourth year of the calendar that we've done. This is the fourth calendar, I believe. Yeah, it's the fourth calendar. All right. And we're going to keep going strong, Israel, because this is what we want to accomplish by the grace of the Most High. Is that we want people to see the truth. And, between Brother Eitan's subscribers, my subscribers, we want every single subscriber to really study these precepts, and all together, that's like over 100,000 subscribers, that's over 100,000 Israelites, that can be keeping the laws, by studying these precepts. And this is why we were very, very careful. And Brother Eitan can tell you, I didn't even want to put out a calendar. I said, it has to, if we're gonna put out something, it has to be super transparent. It can't be like these other wicked calendars where they just going by the new moon, they just throwing stuff, and then they selling them on top of that.
Yeah, we had to do extensive research, all kinds of stuff to make sure that the calendar was right and according to the scriptures. Yeah. So I mean, like I said, Israel, you're gonna have our feast days don't switch up. You're never gonna have a 13th month year. No, nothing like that. Every year, the Passover is going to be on sundown Saturday. You're gonna, every year, we're not going to have any colliding anything, right? The only thing that changes from year to year, right, are the new moons. That's it, right?
And it's never going to be a 13th month. That is wicked as hell. You never ever see a 13th month. Any calendar that's going off the Enoch calendar, so 364, not 65. 64-day cycle. Okay.
They're getting that stuff from the heathens. Anyone that comes up with any other calendar, right, that doesn't have 364 days, you're going by the heathen, because you can't show me anything else in the scriptures. None. You cannot show me 360 day in the calendar. You can't show me 365 day in the calendar. You can't show me 354 day in the calendar. You can't show it to me. You can't show it to me in the scriptures. Only thing you can show me in the scriptures is 364 days, 52 weeks of perfect 7 days. The Most High is not going to make a year and then all of a sudden they're going to stop it in the middle of the week and have you start all over. That's not how the scriptures are written.
That's right.
52 weeks of perfect 7. That's why we got years go off of jubilees and jubilees, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature, right? You know what I'm saying? We had this thing, we have a whole system set up, right? It's not going to rely on the new moons, right? That vary.
That's right.
It's not it's not constant.
That's right, Israel. And and by the grace of the Most High, we're going to wean you all off from this Gregorian. We're going to start maybe just have the Gregorian on the feast days, maybe. And we're going to start that in 2025. That's what we agreed to. We agreed 2025 is we're going to start, because we want to give enough people enough time to really get this calendar soaked into their heads and everything.
God.
They should know it by heart. And then 2025, by the grace of the Most High, hey, look, we're going to try to get as far away as possible from the Gregorian calendar. All right, the Hebrew days are going to always be on there. The new moons is going to always be on. The feast days are going to always be on there. It's going to always be the same. Nothing's going to change.
Right?
If we're following exactly the way the scriptures tells us to follow it, and you don't got to worry about leap year, because that won't matter, because anytime the equinox sets, it's going to always reset itself, and the days are never going to keep going backwards. It's never going to keep going backwards. It's going to be like every 5 or 6 years, maybe every 7 years, maybe something like that, where it kind of resets itself. But that's automatic, and we don't have to change anything. So Israel, these precepts are for you. Study this calendar.
And then you know what? It says, come out of her, right? That we may not be partake of her iniquity, right? So we have to come away from everything that Babylon is doing, right? And that and that, what does that entail? That entails us keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right. And in Israel, don't see. This is where faith is going to come along, because if you're working and they won't give you your days off, then find another job, find something else. Because I'm telling you, obedience is better than sacrifice. Obedience is better than sacrifice, and as you practice these righteous acts, I'm telling you, you're going to want to do more and more. You're going to want to be more and more obedient to His word. It's like money's not going to even matter anymore. A job is not going to even matter anymore. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that matters to me is the Most High, Yahweh, and His Son, and these commandments. That's it. That's all that matters to me. I don't care about nothing else.
Right? Don't be like the heathen. Right, because this is going to happen. Revelation chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, right? That ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, in the cup which she hath filled her. Have filled to her double. Now, right, this is serious, right? That means that Babylon is going to get that work. The Most High is going to punish every single one of them, right? Now, something like Brother Daniel, right? When Brother Daniel had brought out in Exodus 10, when we go back, right, and we see that, Slakia, right? Exodus 12, right? When we saw that they were putting the blood post on the doors. Now, I'm willing to bet you that not every Israelite put the blood post on the door. I'm willing to bet not all Israel took a lamb of the first year and put some blood on the door, right? You know what happened to those Israelites? Those Israelites received the plagues that came, came to Egypt. That's what those Israelites did, right? It's going to be the same thing for our people. And we're not getting together. Stop following these wicked ass niggas, right, that are following the heathens. If they have a calendar that matches up with the heathens, and all of the damn camps do, right? You go to Lions or what is that? Lions and Lambs or whatever the heathen camp is, right? You go to any of these so-called what is it? Damn, what's the Judaism? What, you know what I'm saying? What do they call that? What do they call that that doctrine they got? Them damn white folks over there. What do they call Judaism?
Judaism, yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Now that's what it is, right? So if you go and you see any of those calendars based off of Judaism, right, they all go by the new moon. They all holidays and stuff like that. They go by the new moon with the Adar twos and stuff that's not in the that's nowhere in the scriptures, nowhere in the Torah, nowhere. Yeah, right? That stuff is not in the scriptures, not one word of it. Right. So that's the stuff that these heathen are putting in the game, right? And our people have picked it up. So make sure you don't don't follow these damn camps that's doing that wicked stuff, or you will receive, right? You will receive of her plagues, right? The Most High will remember your sins, and you will be cast out due to your iniquities. The Most High is not going to play with you.
That's right.
Shit.
It's a serious thing, Israel. So let's dive into these laws this year. Make this year, I'm telling you, Israel, make this year a dedication. You write that thing down, what you got to do. You determine in yourself, make haste to keep these laws and tell yourself that, hey, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep every single law, including the new moons, the Shabbats, the feast days, this whole year. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, you will see a difference. Okay, you got to get that fear factor out your mind about your job and everything. You got to get it out your mind, because I'm telling you, people, if you stand up for your faith and you stand up for what you really believe, people will respect you more than someone if you're trying to hide it and you're trying to be fake about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So people on my job, they know. They wouldn't even dare ask me.
Me too.
They wouldn't even dare ask me over on their damn holidays or anything like that. They know better than that. They would not dare ask me.
Yep.
Stuff like that. They know how I get down, and they know I don't celebrate no paganism.
Yeah, send them the calendar, right? If they don't believe it, like in my place of employment, I have a the folks they get an extra paycheck there from them. They got they got my calendar. They know the days that I'm off. They already know. I remind them ahead of time, so it's not a problem. But I have no issues, right? I don't work on Saturdays. You know what I'm saying? I never work on no holy days.
Yep.
No, nothing like that is not an issue. Right, they don't look at me crazy. They, they respect it.
Yep. Just like with the new moon tomorrow, everybody should be off work tomorrow.
God, right?
Look, I had training all week. I said, nope, I'm taking off. This is my news. Every month, I put in a day off for the new moon if it falls during the week. Because that's important to me. And these laws and statutes should be very important to us. Israel. Like I said, that's all I care about. I can care less about a job,
But don't be no nigga.
Yeah, the salvation is in these laws, Israel.
If you being a nigga and you're not wearing your fringes and you're not doing stuff like you're supposed to, right? Then the folks ain't gonna take you seriously when you're trying to be off on a new moon, holidays, or something like that. Right? You got to be keeping the laws. You got to show your work. You got to show your fruit. Like they should be able to look at you and be like, okay, well, this brother is in some type of religious group, or this brother, he keeps, you know what I'm saying? Like you should be different that way. So when it's time for you to, tell them that, hey, I need off on this day, or I got this day, or, saying something going on, right? Or then, you can show and prove. Don't be no nigga. Don't be trying to, wing it. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, then on the last day, you want to come up with the new moon, or you know what I'm saying? Do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we have to be circumspect as a people. Right, they already look at it as like a nigga. They all looking at it as like, oh, these niggas are shiftless. They don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? Oh, they always want to do last minute. They're always late. You know what I'm saying? So forth and so on. Right? Where we have to really show that we're really trying to do this. Right? And that's what's going to make the difference. Right, man? These heathen ain't gonna really don't. If you've been a nigga on your job and you ain't really doing that, and all of a sudden now you're trying to, it just looks like you're just trying to get an extra day off from work. That's all it just looks like. You know what I'm saying? Don't look like nothing. But if you actually keeping the commandments, showing that you love the law and you're keeping the law, the Most High, man, things will go right for you.
Yeah. Check this out, y'all. Go to Deuteronomy 7:6, because this is what we got to really put in our minds. All right. Deuteronomy 7:6. what does that say? It says, for you are a holy people unto Yahweh. All right, Yahweh has chosen you to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Now I said that the challenge is to go hard this year and keep these laws, and because we're set apart. Why our people don't want to be set apart is beyond me. And I know why, because of wickedness, because they're after the heathens, they love to envy their oppressors. When Proverbs 3:31 says, envy not thou the oppressor, nor choose none of his ways. Right? And so we are to be a holy people above what sets us apart. The laws, wearing our fringes, my brother was saying. People have to see the works, Israel. Stop. You got to get this whole self-righteousness thing out your mind. So many people get scared because they don't want to bring attention to themselves. The hell with that. You are commanded to obey the laws. This is what we're commanded to do. Well, I don't see what the issue is.
Yeah.
A lot of our people, wear your fringes. Most I says, wear your fringes. Wear your fringes.
That's right.
Right. We should be proud of that kind of stuff, man. I go around. I'm proud of my heritage. I don't.
That's right.
Ain't no shame in nothing. I'll be doing. I don't give a damn who's looking and saying what and everything. I don't care. But they know. I bet you this though. They know at the end of the day. They know that I'm serious as a heart attack.
You know what's crazy though? You know what I'm saying? We got niggas. They'll get them a job at McDonald's and they'll wear them a shirt with that stupid looking M on it. Come in there, wear the McDonald's uniform, man. They might get them a job at Six Flags. You know what I'm saying? Wearing the Goofy or whatever, wearing the Goofy outfit. They'll go there. They'll put on a whole damn Goofy outfit and they'll walk around and dance for the heathen all day, but you can't wear your fringes.
And not only, not only will they wear it at the jobs, man, they'll wear it outside their jobs.
Gone, all right. Gone. This stuff is, man. A matter of fact, man, I saw something crazy the other day, man. They had some Astro Boy boots. You ever seen Astro Boy? Astro Boy is a cartoon, and they got some these. I mean, like they were literally wearing cartoon boots. Our people, so wearing these big old cartoon boots. I'm like looking at this. I'm like, damn, these niggas would rather wear cartoon boots than wear fringes. You know what I'm saying? The stuff is crazy to me. I mean, I look at this stuff and I'm like, man, what's going on with our people? I mean, like, do they not really realize what's going on? The white man tell you to stop at the stop sign, right? And you'll do it, right? There'll be a red stoplight and you'll be at the stoplight at 1 o'clock in the morning, nobody around. And guess what? Your coon ass gonna sit there at that red light and you ain't gonna run it. It could be nobody around. But the white man red light turn red, and you're going to stop in the middle of God's earth. You're going to stop.
That's right.
But it's just like when the white man and nobody's there at 1 o'clock in the morning, and your ass will stop for that red light when nobody's around. But do you keep God's commandments like that when nobody's around? You know what I'm saying? Like that's how you should be. You should be afraid, just like how some niggas would be afraid that the police would jump out. You know what I'm saying? Even though you don't see the police nowhere in sight, but you have that uncomfortable feeling of if you run that red light, there's a chance that there could be a police hiding around the corner somewhere. That's how we should feel about the Most High. You know what I'm saying? If you tell a lie, or if something happened, you should have some kind of fear or retribution from the Most High. If you don't, man, you're not living your life right.
That's right. Word on that.
That's all I wanted to say, Israel. I think I'm about done.
Yeah, Israel, we put the link in the chat box and everything. So if you want to come on or anything like that, you got something that you want to edify or whatever, you got a question, for this new law, anything about the law period, anything that you got a question about the law, this is your time to go ahead and ask and everything. And again, Israel, at the end of the day, and when the rubber meets the road, what are we going to do, and what are we doing behind closed? Because this, I mean, you can fool your brother and everything, but you're not gonna fool the Most High, because He already knows your heart. Not a single lie that you can tell to the Most High, and you won't see your heart. His eyes. The word says His eyes are 10 times brighter. 10 times brighter than the sun, 10,000 times brighter than the sun.
So,
Seeing everything. There you go. In fact, let me bring that up right quick. It's an Ecclesiasticus.
Back to the book of Sirach.
Yep. As soon as I pull it up here.
It's at 10,000.
Yep, there we go.
Able to behold all the.
That's right. All right, let me go there right quick. Ecclesiasticus 23. All right, there it is right here. So Ecclesiasticus 23 and verse 19. And this should really, penetrate our hearts right here, because, there's nothing we can hide from the Most High. It says, such a man only fears the eyes of men. That's what Brother Aton was talking about earlier. These our people, they'll go hard. They'll go hard for the heathens and everything. They'll wear their little uniforms and everything. Go hard for the heathens, boy. Wear it outside the jobs too. It says, such a man only fears the eyes of men, and knows that the eyes of Yahweh are 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men and considering the most secret parts. That means there's no secret thoughts, everything. There's nothing like every thought, I don't care if it's wicked or righteous, there's nothing that can be hidden. It says he knew all things ere ever they were created. So also after they were perfected, he looked upon them all. Israel, there's nothing, there's no hiding place. Nothing. And we're going to be judged based upon how we lived our lives, whether we kept these laws or not. All right.
Imagine that, right? Is that you got a being that's so omnipotent and omniscient and omnipresent that he knew everything that was going to be created.
That's right.
Right. But then, like, once they came into creation, he's decided just to look upon them all. Let me see let me see if this, say, oh, the thing straight out of my mind is coming to fruition, and it looked just like I knew it would. That's amazing. You know what I mean? Just to be able to know all of that stuff will happen. And also after they were perfected, he looked upon them. Awesome.
That's right.
Man.
But all right, Israel, look, you all have the calendar and everything. And we just wanted to drop this jewel. We got something good coming up this Shabbat, a good lesson for you. We're gonna be dealing with the false camp doctrines of the reincarnation. So
yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit.
What's that?
Yeah, I said we'll talk about that a little bit, Israel. Yep. We'll see whether or not you got unlimited lives. You might be able to do the up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start, and get 100 lives. And you might come back onto the earth as many times as you need until salvation hits you. That's who knows, the camp doctrine. You could come into earth and be a homosexual and then die, and then come back and be a tranny, then die, and come back and be a righteous brother and then make it into the kingdom. We don't know, Israel. Stay tuned for this Shabbat lesson. Sundown on Friday.
That's right. It might be a long one, Israel. So that's what it's going to be, because we got plenty of scriptures to debunk that nonsense.
That's right, Israel. Who knows, Israel? We might even tell you that you could be as wicked as you want, kill your brothers, be a tranny and a homosexual in one life. You can do everything you want, and just guess what, Israel? And then you can still get the kingdom without remembering any of that ever happened. Wouldn't that be awesome? Wouldn't that be amazing, Israel? But stay tuned, Israel. We're gonna tell you this fantastic doctrine.
That's right.
Right.
I'm looking forward to that one. That's gonna be, and invite some of these camp guys if they come across some camp members. Invite them on the live.
Yeah, definitely. So we will have the link. We'll have the link posted for any brother and sister they want to if they want to expound on their point, what I'm saying? I want to hear all about it.
And if Nathaniel got the courage to come on our channel, we will gladly have him on so we can actually show him the right way, show him the truth.
Respect their persons.
I don't want this brother come back thinking that he's the Hamashiach. You know what I'm saying? He already got like pictures made of him looking like him, trying to be the Hamashiach.
You're not supposed to have any pictures of anything like that anyways, Israel.
All right, Israel. Look, Shabbat Shalom, new moon.
That's right.
You know,
Shabbat Shalom.
I'm getting ready to go and light up my frankincense and myrrh, the good stuff.
That's right. Burn it up, Bob.
And exciting month, Israel. A lot of good stuff. You know. Make sure you get your lamb. Go ahead and get your lamb by the 10th of the month. Have that ready and everything. And Israel, we're gonna get it on.
Con.
All right. So I don't have anything, Brother Eitan. You don't have anything. We're gonna bid you all Shabbat New Moon, Shalom.
That's right.
Oh.
Stay strong.